Right, greetings everybody. How's everyone doing? So my name is Siya Mokoena. I'm a professional drummer and a drum teacher as well. And yeah, I guess I'll be spending time with you in the next coming weeks. It's good to finally be here. Can I maybe everyone just introduce yourselves? Leroy? Okay. Yeah. Lonwabo? Okay, Leroy, Lonwabo, LeBron, like a basketball player, yes. Jablani, Chanel, Natasha, okay. Sanel, Greg. All right. Nice to meet you guys. Yeah. Hopefully, as time goes on, I'll just get to know you guys better. And how long have you guys been playing? Greg? Couple years. Okay.
Since today.
Or first day?
Yeah, it's first time.
Okay.
Couple of years as well.
Couple of years as well. Few years. How long is a couple of years?
It's embarrassing because right now okay, it's more than 5 years or 6 years.
Okay. 2 months. Okay. 4 days. Or few days. Oh, okay. Leonardo, today. Today. All right. So we're basically starting more or less from scratch. All right. So before we even get there to the drum kit, I'm gonna share a little bit about the concept of rudiments, right? So rudiments are more or less the. Can you all hear me well? Eh? Okay. So rudiments are more. Let's call them more like the DNA of drumming. Okay. So it doesn't matter what style of drumming you're playing. You could be playing jazz, you could be playing hip hop or whatever genre it is. You need to know your rudiments. Your rudiments are basically learning rudiments is like learning your ABCs, you know? The genres and the style of playing are more, it's more like you're creating your slang now when you're talking and all of that. But before we get into learning any language, you have to learn your ABCs, you know? So that for you to be able to make up the words to be able to communicate better in whatever language. So rudiments are more or less your ABCs. That's where you start. You can't get better on the drum kit unless you know your core rudiments. That's where everything starts. So there's over 40 rudiments, but all those rudiments are made up of 3 core rudiments: your single strokes, double strokes, and your flames. Every other rudiment in the world is made up as a mixture of these 3. So they are more or less, even a paradiddle is a mixture of double strokes and single strokes. It's more or less, we call them hybrid rudiments. But every other rudiments, from single strokes, right, left, right, left, right, left, double strokes, right, right, left, left. And then your flames, is basically 2 hits at the same time, right? They shouldn't be too open though, because if they're too open, then it sounds like you're doing this. So they should be closed. But if they're too close again, it sounds like you're just hitting the same thing, right? So every other rudiment in the world is mixed up of these. You can name any rudiment: single stroke, paradiddle, diddle, flame taps, all of them. So that's where we'll start. Single strokes, double strokes, flames. Again, if you can memorize what I said, rudiments are more or less your ABCs. That's where you start. In order for you to be able to communicate, whether you're learning a new language, you have to learn how the phrasing is on the new language, how they articulate the letters or the phrasing, you know. So for you to get there, learn your ABCs: right, left, right, left, right, left. And then one thing you should always remember, I'll repeat this on every other lesson. Your brain, there's what we call muscle memory, okay? So your brain works more like a computer. You know when you input information on a computer, the computer will not know whether the information is correct or not, you know. What the computer does is it saves the information, okay? So your brain memorizes whatever it is you're doing. So if you're gonna play this completely wrong, your brain doesn't know it's wrong, it's gonna memorize it like that. So, contrary to what most drummers believe, drumming is more about repetition more than it is about speed, you know, because most people just want to rush and just want to play fast on the drums, and it's nice, it sounds good, but if you're playing it wrong, no matter how fast you are, you're still doing it wrong, you know. So that's how your muscle memory works. The slower it's more about repetition. You can do this over and over and over again. By the time you have to play it fast, your brain already remembers it. If you can wake me up any day, any time of the day, or any time of the night, play a paradiddle. I no longer have to think right, left, right. It's yes. So it's more like second nature now, you know. It's like, someone can wake you up and say, write your name, you know. So yeah, but there was a time where you couldn't, where you had to learn how to, you know. So that's where everything starts. So whether you've been playing 2 years or maybe you'll be playing less or you're starting today, you shouldn't look at it as, okay, I'm sitting next to other drummers here. This person might be better than me, or they might be, or whatnot. Just look at it as a journey. There's a starting point, and each and every one of us is somewhere along that line, you know? And you could have been playing you could be playing for 5 years, and you could meet someone who's been playing for 2 years, and when you actually listen to them, you're like, okay, because the time that you've been playing doesn't matter how long, if you've been doing it wrong or you haven't really been, because there are people who actually put in time practicing, but of course, if you didn't have a right teacher, or maybe you were just trying to figure it out along the way, and you were not doing it right, there's no harm done in going back and say, let's start from scratch, you know. Let me review this and let me see how we're starting, right? So we're going to be starting with single strokes, double strokes. Pastor Jonathan, do we have access to a metronome? Or yes, or maybe does the keyboard not have a metronome? We can just play it for. All right, no problem. So another thing, I hope every one of you has a smartphone. Hopefully, I don't know, but you can download the metronome app on your smartphone, whether using an iPhone or an Android. Metronome should be your best friend. Anything, even if you're practicing something, you know you've been playing it for years, a simple beat that you've been playing for. Working with a metronome is more important than just playing, because you're the drummer, you're the timekeeper, you know. So the whole band is depending on you. The drummer is more of the engine of the band. You are the one who keeps them going. So if you are lacking, and if you are lagging behind and you're not sure, the whole band struggles. The pianist can be as good as they are, or the bass player, but if you, the drummer, you know, so it's all in you. You are the core, you're the backbone of the band. So working with a metronome makes, excuse me, let me just switch this off. Sorry about that. So yeah, work with the metronome. You can maybe play the metronome at 60 beats per minute and take it as slowly as you can. Single strokes, before you start, I know some of you all have been playing, there's different grips of types of holding your stick. There's what we call a meshed grip, right? So a mesh grip, it's basically whatever the same way you're holding your stick on your right hand should be the same way on your left hand. So there's a German grip which is more like this, depending on the type of style you're playing. And the mesh grip, it's like your hands are facing down, you know. Yeah. And you don't use your Twinkies up and all of that. You're holding your sticks like this. The more you work on your rudiments, you have to be able to strengthen your fingers. That's where the speed comes from. It's not really here. It's not really on your wrist, but it's more. You see. So as time goes on, you'll be able to work on dynamics, technique, the right technique of holding your sticks. Because depending on whatever genres, I mean, there's what we call the traditional grip. Most jazz drummers use the traditional grip, or the marching band, they normally use this grip. But because this is for church, it should be easy for you to just use the mesh grip, okay? So can we have the metronome maybe at 60 ppm? Yes. So we're gonna be starting the 60 beats per minute. And then there's just that today I forgot to make copies, but I'll make copies for you guys. There's some notation that I printed out. I'm gonna be giving to each of you that you have to be working on. So, and then there's what we call subdivisions. Okay. So as your metronome is going like this, there's quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, 32nd notes, and 64th note. But mostly, we'll just be working from quarter notes to 16th note for now, right? So your quarter notes is you're basically playing your crotchet. So see where your metronome is. 1, 2, right? That's your quarter notes, basically 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Your eighth notes, you're basically playing 8 notes within that 4 beats. So 1, 2, 3. So, but you don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what they go, you go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's 8 notes. On the same beats per minute, your 16th notes, again, you don't count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 16. So how you count it, it's 1 E and R, that's the first 4. So 1 E and R, 2 E and R, 3 E and R, 4 E and R, 1 E, that's 16 notes. Yes. So 1 E and R, 2 E and R, 3 E and R, 4 E and R. So that's what we'll be working on today can we have it a little bit louder? Yes. So we'll be switching from quarter notes to eighth notes to 16th notes, okay? 1, single strokes, quarter notes, 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. And then 16th, 1 E and R, 2 E and R, 3 E and R, 4 E and R, 1 E and R, 2 E and R, 3 E and R, 4 E and R. So while you're doing that, be mindful of the metronome. Don't go faster or slower than it, you know. And you must always be able to actually count it out loud so that you know you're able to tell the difference between these subdivisions, okay? So the first subdivision is your eighth notes. You must be able to count it out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, that's your quarter notes. 3, eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 16th notes. 1 E and R, 2 E and R, 3 E and R, 4 E and R, 1 E and R, 2 E and R, 3 E and R, 4 E and R. Okay, go on, don't stop. So again, as I was saying, you need to check, no, continue. You need to check your grip. Don't play with your... Play with me. See how you hold your sticks, huh? So look at how my hands are holding the sticks. Yes. Right there. You're using your Twinkies, so yes. Uh, yes. Exactly like that. 4, 2. So hold your sticks like, yeah. So while doing that, you're listening to the metronome at the same time. What are you doing? You're counting out loud. So what subdivision are we on? 16th notes. So how does the 16th note goes? 1E, yeah.
Oh, sorry, we were in the other number.
Let's go. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and. So you don't go up to 6, just to 4. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E. And 3E. So when you're working on this, so you need to work on this daily, every day. You see, we haven't even gotten to the double strokes and just your single stroke. So you allocate time, even if you do like 15 minutes a day. 5 minutes on the single strokes, 5 minutes on the double strokes, 5 minutes on the flams. All right? So now, okay, we can stop. Now we're gonna do the same thing with double strokes now. So double strokes, right, right, left, left, right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so it's metronome. So right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. Don't forget your grip, right? Sixteenths, 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and So okay, we can stop. So here's what I want you to guys check now. We are working on those 3 subdivisions, right? So quarter notes, 8th notes, 16th notes, right? And these are just subdivisions. It doesn't mean you're changing the tempo, right? So you're still playing under the same tempo. It's just that some of them are going to feel like you're going a bit fast because you're playing more notes in, but all of those notes, you're playing them in time. For instance, let me demonstrate this. I'll switch from 16th to 32nd, from quarter notes, sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 2E and 3. So after playing all of that, if you notice, I didn't go off time. I'm still playing under the same metronome. It's just changing those subdivisions, right? So now that's, again, we won't get to the 32nd. We'll just go. I'm just going to add one more sub. That's the last one I was playing. Yes. So even on double strokes, right? So that's your 8th notes, right? That's your 16th notes, right? 2, 3, 4, 2, E, N. That's your 16th notes. 32nd notes. Right? You'll get there eventually. So we're not going to focus on the 32nd notes. Instead, I'm going to add triplets. Okay? So it's going to be quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, and then triplets. Triplets, it's simple. You're basically playing groups of 3 on each beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and yeah. 1, 2, 3, 1. So that's 3 notes per beat, right? So, right? Quarter notes, 1 and 2, that's your 8th. 16th. Quarter notes. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So while working on that, remember earlier on I mentioned dynamics, technique and dynamics. So when basically by dynamics what I mean is the rate at which you're playing, your volume. For instance, I'll demonstrate the single strokes, for instance. So basically, I'm playing accents on the first beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So, or you could, so what we call those notes, there's accents and then there's ghost notes, right? So ghost notes are mostly, okay, I'll demonstrate it when I'm playing on the drum kit. Ghost notes are more, when you're playing, especially with the band, they should be felt more than they heard, okay? So they just add texture to the music, to the way you're articulating whatever it is you're playing, right? And so, or you could just play all accents. Accent, just the one. So you're basically playing accents on the same beat as the metronome. Triplets. So we're going to spend more time on the triplets because I see you guys are struggling with it there. The triplets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So, okay, you guys can stop. So there's different ways of playing the triplets. You could just play right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right. Or you could play it alternating your hands, right? Right, left, right, yes. So right, left, 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 right, right. Again, be mindful of the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to be playing the triplets. So that first count 1 up to 4, it's called a bar, right? So we're going to be changing after 2 bars. So the first bar, 1, 2, 2, 3, that's the first bar. 2 will be alternating. And then the third bar and the fourth bar will be, we won't be alternating, we'll be playing right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, okay? Okay, let me demonstrate it. 2, 3, the first bar alternating, and 2. 2, change, right, left, left, 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 right, left. Alternating again. 2, yes. Right, yes. Right, so right, left, left, right, left, left. So right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, yes. Right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left. So right, left, left, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yes. So here you're just, it's right, left, left, yes. And again, be mindful of the metronome. So you're playing right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right. Play with me. Right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. Yes. Don't forget your grip. Yeah, don't loosen your grip. Right, left, left, 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 right, left, left. Don't forget your grip. Don't be loose on your. Just grip the sticks tight. Yes. Okay, let's switch. We're gonna switch back to alternating, right? Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. It's okay, it's okay. So, any questions? What are you struggling with? So when you're alternating, it's right, left, right, left, right, left. So, can we pause the metronome? So you can play it as slowly as you can. Again, remember what I said. It's more about repetition, right? So it's pointless playing it fast and then you're just messing it up. So let's take it slow. So you're struggling with the alternating, right? So it's right, left, right, left, right, left. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So the difference here is the accents. You play the accent on the 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's where you're able to keep track of what you're doing. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Because the other one is easier, it's just right, left, left. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we can stop. So again, honestly, playing rudiments can sometimes feel boring. I think as time goes on, when you're practicing your rudiments, you're going to feel that Especially when you're practicing alone at home, it's gonna feel like. But trust me, this can be so much boring, but it will make that more interesting. Because whatever it is, I'm gonna demonstrate all these rudiments. I'm gonna demonstrate them on the kit and show you how, when you actually articulate them on the drum kit, how they work. Because sometimes you hear someone playing something's really nice, and yo, can you please teach me? And they take you here, and you feel like, this guy is just messing with me, you know, because I want to play that. But it all starts here, you know. I'll show you. I'll demonstrate from the single strokes to the double strokes, and then again, this is where we start. This is your blueprint, you know. Sometimes even a certain pattern I'll be giving you on the drum kit, it's more of a blueprint. What you do with it now, after you get to, you know, that's, so what I do, I give you the blueprint, and now it's your job now to build a house. Each and every one of you here is creative in their own way, you know. So when you play on the drum kit, you will never play like Greg, and Greg will never play like you, you know. Each and every one of you, once you're there on the drum kit, you bring out now your own personality, your own style. But again, for you to get there, for you to start singing in a different way or singing in something like that, again, you have to learn the words to make up you have to learn the letters to make up the words to that language. So you can't just, I'm gonna wing it, you know. You can't just say, let's see how it goes.
Can I ask you something? What are you doing with your fingers with a faster beat? You were moving your fingers.
Yes, so hence I was saying, the way you hold your sticks, you shouldn't be holding your sticks like this. Your fingers have to be worked. The speed, the more you practice, the speed is here. Because if you're gonna try and play like this, drumming is more, it's just here. You see? I'm not moving I'm just here. No matter how fast you go, I'm just moving my wrist. So it's all here. But again, I'm pushing the stick with my fingers, all three fingers. So you could just go. So one exercise I use a lot when I'm working on my fingers, even if I'm not on the drum kit, to strengthen my fingers. I do the same rudiments, whether single strokes or double strokes, but I do them here. So now I'm forcing my fingers, I'm forcing these fingers to actually work. Single strokes, double strokes, you know. So when it hits, yeah, it is heavy. Actually, these are more heavier, but so it's working on your. But as time goes on, I'm going to give you more exercises that actually work on. So today, as we're just getting into the basics, you know, introducing you to.
So what time it will down?
Yeah. So as I was playing the single strokes, and then remember I mentioned today we're going to learn the 3 core rudiments. That's your single strokes, your double strokes, and your flams, right? So now we're going to get into the flams. The flams are more interesting, but a little bit challenging, right? So there's a right-handed flam and a left-handed flam, right? So right? Now a right-handed flam, the left hand hits your pad first. So, and then the left-handed flam. Oh, so so there's a right-handed flam and a left-handed flam, right? Sometimes you practice your flams back to back, right, left, right, left. I'm alternating left, right, right. Again, on your right-handed flam, the left hand hits the snare first. Your right hand comes second, so, right? Your left-handed flam.
The position of the six also changed, for example.
Yes, because the one has to hit the pad before the other, right? So let's take it slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So we're gonna do just the left-handed flam, everyone, just the left-handed flam, right?
Where the left hand hits the 15 first.
Yes. the left hand is supposed to hit the pad first. Yes. Yeah. The other way. Yes. Remember the grip? Yes. Because then it's going to be more difficult for you if you're going to play it like this with your hands up. You know, so, yes. So as I was saying, the flam is more or less the most challenging part of the rudiment. So it's going to take you some time to actually get used to it. But once you get used to it, again, I'm also going to demonstrate it on the drum kit. So that's the left-handed flam. So in drumming, whatever it is you do on the left, you should be able to do on the right, right? And it's not always going to be easy because all of us are born like that. There's a strong hand and there's a dominant hand and there's a weaker hand, okay? Whether if you're left-handed, then of course your left hand is going to be the most dominant. If you're right-handed, the same. But you must always strive to at least get them to the same strength. For instance, if you say you're playing a rudiment that is right-hand lead, say maybe a paradiddle-diddle. So that's right-hand lead, right? Then you switch it to the left hand. So you must try by all means. As time goes on, you'll get to a point where it sounds at least close. Your left hand lead sounds close to the right hand. Right? But we'll get to the paradiddle. So the paradiddle is more, that's when we get to the hybrid rudiments, because that's a mixture of single strokes and double strokes, okay? So today it's just the single strokes, double strokes, and the flam, right? So even with the flam, hence I was saying it gets a bit difficult because you also have to play your flams like eighth notes, like quarter notes, eighth notes, you know. And then, so, 3, 4, right? 1 and 2 and 3. So that's left and right alternating. And then the triplet, remember it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and So with drumming, also the other thing, that's why we actually drumming when you have to start on the practice pad, because unlike the keyboard or the bass, it's not necessarily about the sound, but the pattern itself, right? Because on the keyboard, it is about the sound. An A flat will never sound like a G, you know, ever, right? Well, unless you're using a transpose button, then you're playing the same thing. But on the drums, you shouldn't memorize the sound. What most drummers, especially beginner drummers, struggle with, if I give you a pattern on the drum kit, you're going to memorize it as snare, kick, and then I say play it between the ride and the floor tom, and then it all falls apart. So you have to think, I'm playing a pattern, kick, right, left, kick, right, left, kick. That way it never goes wrong, okay? So that's why you start on the pad, so that you have to do away with it has to sound like this. It's more about, the only thing you have to memorize about sound is the dynamics, as I was saying, basically how you play loud or how soft you go. The accents and the ghost notes. So it just depends on, so now that's your overall dynamics depending on the song. There's a certain part of the song where you're playing, you have to play very low, and now the song builds up, okay? So, but in terms of the sound, you can't just say, so they gave me this pattern between the kick and the floor tom. So, and I was like, play it between the heads and the snare. And you're like, okay. Now it falls apart, not because you don't know it, but because you memorize the sound. But if you think, it's kick, right, left. So it's simple. kick, right, left, kick, right, left. Whether I'm playing it between the ride and the snare or between your toms, it's still kick, right, left, right? So I'll make a demonstration on the drum kit. Use a different pair of sticks. So we're going to use a demonstration with the single strokes, right? So there's a groove, you know, even if you were playing for a while. So there's a groove and there's a fill, right? So most of you guys who are playing, you know, maybe you're playing this groove. Right? Now, adding a fill onto that. So what I was playing here, that's called a fill, right? And I actually used one of these rudiments. I used a flam and single strokes. So a flam and then single strokes, right, left, you know. So as I was saying, drumming is just built up of all these rudiments. It's just that sometimes some of the patterns as time goes on, you learn to break them up between the hands and the legs, you know. You're still doing right, left, still single strokes, but now I replace the left hand with the kick. Okay. Let me make a demonstration with what I was saying now. I'm going to play, okay, it's going to sound a little bit complicated, but I'm just trying to show you the point I was making. Say I give you a pattern like this between the kick and the snare and the heads, right? So it's kick, right, left, kick, right, left, kick, right, left. So that's the whole pattern, right? So if you're going to memorize this, so I'll start gradually building up the speed and placing it on. So again, as I was talking about creativity, you can do this. There's over 100 combinations of playing the same pattern, right? All of this, I didn't change a thing. I was still playing kick, right, left, kick, right, left, kick, kick. But now to you it sounds like, yo, what is he playing? Because now it sounds, but again, if you're going to memorize the sound, when I go, you're going to think now I'm playing something totally different, right? For instance, let's use that triplet, kick, right, left, right? Right, left, right, left, left. So we'll replace that first right with the kick. That's your triplet. 1, 2, 3, okay? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? So everything I played here was kick, right, left. I didn't change it. I didn't add a double kick. I didn't do anything. So I'm able to do this because I memorized the pattern. In my head, I'm not playing I'm playing kick, right, left. That's all that's going on here. So once you understand the patterns you're playing on the practice pad, translating them to the kick, to the drum kit, it's all, now again, it all depends on your creativity. Greg could maybe just want to play it between the snare and the high tom, you know? And Leroy would maybe want to play it between the heads and the floor tom. But nonetheless, it's still kick, right, left, kick, right, left. kick, right, left. That's it. And then one of the basic grooves you normally play, I want to demonstrate now the single strokes. There are 16th note single strokes, right? Say maybe you're playing. So that's your 16th note. One E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and right? But again, you could still play. Right? Just played again the quarter notes 1, 2, 3, 4, kick. That's it. So now it sounds faster because the groove is faster. Basically, you'd maybe be playing this at about 90 BPM or so. One E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, right? So again, as I was saying, sometimes I know this personally, it might feel boring working on the pad, again and again, but when you take whatever it is you're practicing there, it's gonna make what you're doing here very much interesting, So again, with regards to the dynamics, you heard what I was playing on the snare. So the normal groove is, right? Now I was adding the dynamics, I was adding the ghost notes as we were playing right, left, left, right, left, left. Right, so. So it already gives the groove some color, as opposed to just playing it as dull like. Right? So all of this comes from what I was showing you guys, stick control, because most of the ghost notes, I'm just using my fingers as I was saying, right? So stick control, how you hold your sticks matters, right? Because even when I'm on the right, it's still that same grip I was showing you. So if you're able to look at the drum kit like that, all I'm playing is just different patterns, So I'm playing it on the snare, I'm playing it on the tom, I'm playing it on the floor tom. Doesn't really matter that much because whatever it is you are doing, you're doing it in service to the music, to whatever music you're playing, Because again, you could get a drummer who's always practicing alone, not working with a band, practicing daily, and you get as good as you want to. But then you put them on stage with a band, they can't play. So why? Because you always, I don't want you to look at this and box it into just playing drums. Think of it as you're creating music, you're making conversation. Hence I was using the analogy of learning your ABCs in a different language, you're learning to talk, And when you're starting, of course you're gonna start here. Time goes on, the more you play, the more you understand the overall dynamics, It's like, for instance, I don't know Afrikaans. It would probably take me a while to learn it. But if I were to try, I wouldn't just learn Afrikaans in one day and start, So I would have to learn, okay, how do they articulate this? How do they translate this from English to whatnot? How does they phrase these words, And probably if I were to try, if you met me for the first time, this one does it, he's just learning, You can hear from how I speak. But what makes me better at speaking in Afrikaans? It's the more I talk, it's the more I learn how to. So it's the same as playing drums. The time you put in on your practice on the pad, it's gonna come out here. And even if I can give you homework today, I won't be there. I won't be with you the whole week. But next week when I come, I'll definitely be able to tell who worked on this and who didn't work on this. And again, of course, then some of your peers will be playing better than you in a very short space of time, you know. So, yes, you came in here as a class, all of you, but this is your own personal journey as a drummer, you know. This is where you start. And we don't know. I mean, the pastor wants you guys to learn, but then it's not on him, it's on you. You know where you want to go with this drumming. You know which level you want to reach, you know. And if you don't put in the time, you know, and it doesn't really, you're still starting, you don't even have to go hours. You know, you can literally do 20 minutes a day. That would make a huge difference in your drumming. 20 minutes. Take your practice pad, 20 minutes, set a timer, 5 minutes for each exercise. 5 minutes, you put your metronome in and you start working on it. 2, 3, 4 days, you'll hear the difference. You won't even need someone to tell you that you're getting better. Because some of the things now you're struggling to hold your sticks, and some of you are holding the sticks very tight, and it's still okay because you're starting. But as time goes on, you will just feel the flow. You'll just feel the flow. Okay, now it's easier. Now it gets easier. Now it's get easier. You know, it's like riding a bicycle with trainers, you know. As time goes on, you no longer need these. And maybe the first time they remove the trainers, you're going to fall off your bike a few times. But as time goes on, you'll be just speeding around the yard or wherever, you know. So with drumming, it's the same. With everything, with anything, actually, you know, it's just you putting in the time. But again, don't push, don't try to, hence I was saying we're just going to start, even for you guys who are already playing, we're all going to start from the basics: single strokes, double strokes, flams, and triplets. That's where you're starting. Learn those things, work on them, and then as time goes on, you'll be able to play them on the kit. Let me demonstrate even the triplet as well. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So taking it slow to fast, fast to slow. Again, you're not thinking you're thinking right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So these are just building blocks, basically. These are building blocks to getting you to where you want to go, you know. So any questions so far before we go on?
So if you get tired, does it mean that you are holding the sticks on, like your arm?
So it depends where it's affecting you. If it affects you here, then the technique of the way you're holding your sticks. Mostly, if you are using the right technique, you should be feeling some pain, here, some pain here, yeah. Because not on your forearms, because you're not playing. Again, even when I'm playing fast, let me show you. I'm not going, but I'm going. You know, it's more the forearm. So it's not about, I know you sometimes see rock drummers going crazy and all of that, but that's the right technique. It's more on your wrist. That's what drumming is, you know. Because if then you're definitely gonna mess up the drums because you're using all of your, you know. So you can play loud while using your wrist still, you know. That way, it doesn't matter how loud you're playing. It's very seldom you'll find someone breaking the drums or tearing the drum heads, you know, because you're using the right technique. But if you're gonna go all crazy, then also you won't reach the goal you want to reach. You'll always be playing slower because, again, your speed is here. You see how that's where drumming is basically. So whether you're playing a slow groove or fast groove, so as I was saying that it's about a repetition, getting to know what you are playing more than playing it fast. Because some of you have been playing a few years, 2 to 3 years, but there's certain things you won't be able to play. You are able to play at this tempo, right? But then there's certain patterns when I say play this at that tempo, you won't be able to play it. Not because you can't play fast. It's more about, so in drumming there's two types of speed. There's raw speed and then there's pattern speed. So raw speed is, for instance, single strokes or double strokes. You don't have to think what comes after right. It's simple, right, left, right, left. So that's more raw speed, or single strokes, right, left. You're not using any brain power to play that. But now, say you're playing a paradiddle. Now that's a different story because that's a hybrid rudiment. You're playing single strokes, you're playing double strokes. So now you have to think, I'm playing two patterns. You have to think right, left, left, right. So some people struggle to play it fast because now they have to think. Now you're using your brain power to think, okay, what comes after this, what comes after. So you have to play it as slowly as you can, over and over again, until your muscles memorize it. You no longer have to think. When I play a paradiddle, I no longer have to think. So a paradiddle is, so they call it a paradiddle. Some of the rudiments, they name them based on how you play them. Right, left, right. So a paradiddle, the pattern is right, left, left, left. So, or you could use the word paradiddle. When you say para, you're hitting single strokes. When you say diddle, it's double strokes. So paradiddle, paradiddle, paradiddle. Right, left, left. But you work on it over and over again until you get rid of the rights and the lefts and the ones and the twos, and it's eventually just a sound. All of this, I was playing that same rudiment I gave you, right, left, a triplet, right, left. So. It's just right, left. So for me, it's no longer right, left. I'm just flowing on it because I've worked on it over time, again and again, right? You can take the same pattern and, again, depending on your creativity, we're going to learn this at a later stage in your drawing, but let me just demonstrate something. So, right? Yes, so a paradiddle, right, left. Right? Now, if we don't play the left hand, the right hand is basically playing. That's it. And then I'm going to replace the left hand with the bass drum. I'm still playing a paradiddle, but now you already, again, how your creativity works now. Where do you want to take the pattern to, right? Maybe let's play a melody with the right hand, with the same pattern. Right? Let's replace the left hand with the kick. So you're taking this, again, the simple rudiments that you are working on, now you're translating it to how you want them to sound on the kit. You can actually use that as a drum fill, for instance. Say you're playing another groove and you go. Right? So again, you can use that as a fill, you can use it as an exercise. I normally use this pattern I just played as an independence exercise. So I play an ostinato on the hi-hat. Right? Again, you can take it wherever you want, you know. So it's more, again, it's more your creativity. This is a workout I normally use for now independence. Remember, as a drummer, you're using all 4 of your limbs, right? And they're all doing completely different things, right? The right hand is on its own and it's not playing the same thing as the right foot, the left hand, so you could maybe be playing this, right? I'm playing that same triplet I was giving you guys. So now I'm no longer thinking right, left, the foot is playing the 4s or whatnot. I'm just flowing, you know. So as time goes on, this is where you guys are gonna go, you know. I'm just trying to show you that's what drumming is. It's not, because sometimes it's like, it's just playing a beat. It's just playing a beat, but it's actually more than that, you know. So being able to hold a groove, that's genius on its own. Just being able to play, because you're already playing, you know. Already that's 3 things, completely different things. And again, as I was mentioning counting, as time goes on, obviously you won't be thinking right, left, 1, 2, 3. But as you're starting, everything in drumming, it's about counting. This groove I was playing now, that's the very first groove I normally teach my students, like beginner. You're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3. You play the snare on the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You play the kick on the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You play your single strokes. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. See, I've already incorporated the same pattern I was giving you guys. The 16th note single strokes. You can use that as a fill. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, you know. So everything. So even if you see someone playing something as complex as you think, I might not even be able to play that. It all started right, left, kick, right, left, and it always seems impossible until it's done. You know, right now, there's some of the things I played in, you're probably thinking, you know what, maybe I should just quit. You know, but it starts there. It starts there. So as I was introducing myself earlier, I'm a professional drummer. I teach drums. I play with different artists and all of that. But each and every day, I work on the pad. You can ask most famous drummer in the world. They'll tell you they still work on their rudiments. So rudiments are not just for beginners or I do rudiments every day. Every day. For you to get better. Again, if you don't work on it, well, you'll be the only one left out. But that's why I'm able to play everything that I'm playing here. It's on the rudiments. I might be, obviously, maybe as time goes on, you'll be working on more complex rudiments and stuff like that. But you still work on your rudiments because that's how you grow. You can never say, I've reached it. You know, I've done it all. I've reached the highest level of drumming. every professional musician, a pianist, guitarist, they still practice daily. So all of this, you practice daily, you know. And again, as I was saying, you don't have to put pressure on yourself. You're just starting now. You want to practice for hours and hours. You can do 20 minutes a day. Just spare 20 minutes, whether in the morning or in the evening or during the day. Set your time. I normally do that when I'm practicing. I set a timer for each rudiment. Then you just work on those rudiments. As you're starting, maybe you'll only be able to play the rudiments at 40 beats per minute, you know? And then you come here and the other person is telling you, hey, I've actually been working on it on 120 beats per minute. And you're like, what? You know? But that's how much time they are putting in, you know? So whatever time you're able to put in, and take it slow. Again, I did say earlier, what I want you to remember, I'll repeat it every lesson. Muscle memory, don't forget, muscle memory. So if you're gonna wanna play, and you keep messing it up again, your brain doesn't know you're messing it up. It's gonna memorize that. And every time we say, play a 30-second note single stroke, you're gonna play. And you can't hear the difference. You actually think you're doing it right because that's how you memorized it. So don't rush it. Take your time. Take it as slowly as you can. And as time goes on, it builds up, you know? As time goes on. There's things that I play fast, but when I practice them, I go back and I practice them very slow. I work on the dynamics, how I want it to sound, so that for instance, when they give you a drum solo, even when they give you a drum solo, your dynamics matter. You can't just go, it's just noise, you know. What makes a drum solo sound nice is how you approach it. You can't just go. But instead you could go. So something like that, you're actually able to listen to something like that. Okay, that's nice. But if I just came in and just blazing, it's just making noise, you know. So what makes people enjoy your drumming? Not even when you're playing a drum solo, even if you're just playing a normal groove at church, what makes people enjoy what you're doing? Your dynamics, how your groove is set up, you know, how you're just playing. Again, you're a musician, you're not just a drummer. Therefore, you must always remember when you're here, you're creating music. You know, you're not just playing drums. Because if you're gonna just think of it as, I'm just drumming, no one will want to see you on stage. Because they want, hey, every time Greg plays, hey, we don't know what's going on there, you know. But because now they don't want to hurt your feelings, and they're like, Greg, can you maybe give someone else a chance? But then deep down, you know, you know. So it, again, and you'll only have yourself to blame, you know. So give it time, work on it, take it slow. Before I go on, any questions?
So when I learned how to play, it was like watching it play.
Yes.
So obviously I have to like unlearn a lot of things. So if I can put it simply, it's all about a pattern.
About?
Pattern.
Yeah?
Following a pattern.
Yes. So, and some of the, well, actually most drummers kind of learned like that, you know, just sitting and listening. So when I started playing, when I was 7, the church band were my brothers, my eldest brothers. Other one was on keyboard, other one was on drums. I never wanted to go to Sunday school. I'd just sit next to the drums and just watch, you know, and that's how I kind of picked it up, you know. And I would always just wanna play, I used to fight with my mom a lot because all the buckets would be messed up. When I get home, I want to just play, you know. And then I got a chance to play at church. But when I went to the college now to study music now, that's when I realized, okay, I've actually been doing it wrong. And I've been playing for years, doing a few gigs even, you know. But there's always room to grow, even if you were playing already and you're actually realizing, okay, I've actually been messing it up here and there because I was just winging it, you know. But yeah, you learn. I think the most important thing is just having a teachable spirit, you know, because sometimes you get to a place, you think you know because you've been playing for a few years, you know. I mean, when I got to the college, there was a lot of my friends who were actually like, we got there and we're like, but I've been playing and I've been getting gigs, so why must we start from scratch? What's going on, you know? But then again, all you need to do is just always have a teachable spirit and just come with a mind to learn, you know. Okay, yes, I might be playing this, but there's so much I might not know. You know, there's actually a few things I could learn from you, you know. I've been playing way longer than you, you know. There could be things that you're playing on the drums and I could pick up a few things. Maybe you're not doing it the right way, but I could actually pick up a few things from what you are doing. So you must always have a teachable spirit, always be willing to learn, be open-minded, you know. So that way you, like, don't close off your mind. Don't be too boxed into one thing. So, and then again, this year, you're creating music. Don't ever forget that. So there's a lot of things that I'm capable of doing on drums, but when I get to a show or wherever I'm playing, I'm not just gonna get on the drums and just play everything because they must know that I've arrived. You know, it's not about that, you know, especially church. You know, you see a lot of drummers, you go to church, but why is he playing like that? And not because he can't play, but he's just thinking of it as, I'm just playing drums and they must hear that I've actually been practicing this the whole week, you know. And this year, it's like when there's certain songs you're playing at church and then it's not really a drum solo, but well, most drummers take it as a drum solo. And you work with different people and they're singing, and like, okay, just the drums. Especially gospel music, your elevation worship. I think that most of those songs, they normally give you that. Actually, most of the gospel, but I'll just use elevation as an example. There's a certain part of the songs where they just leave the drums, and just the drums are playing with the singers. That's not a chance for you to now go blazing on the drum kit, you know. Again, you have to think, I'm creating music. This is music. So when you're on stage, it's basically a conversation, you know. You are talking to the keyboard player and the bass player is communicating something, but now you can't just you don't want to listen. Everyone is trying to talk and you're here, you know. You just want to get your point across every time, you know. You give each other chances. The spaces in music are as much as important as when you're playing, you know. So sometimes you're playing a groove, yes. So maybe, how great is our God first? How great is our God? Sing our praise, right? And they say just the drums, and you go. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's nice. Well, for musicians, they're gonna be like, okay, that was cool, but what are you doing? What, you know, the singers most probably gonna be like, what? The church is like, what? Everyone is confused, you know? So sometimes they're gonna go, okay, just the drums, and maybe you were here, just the drums. You know, like, whatever it is you're doing has to be complementing the music. You can't just go drum solo, because we always have that. I think every time when a drummer, especially when you're starting, every free space you get, sometimes we should go quiet, you know. And once you get like, there's a free space, okay, I should just go. And you're there every time. It's normal, but you should, I think as time goes on, you should eventually outgrow that, And again, understand, you're creating music. We're having a conversation, We're sitting at the dinner table and we're talking, Your dad is trying to say something, or is asking your mom about her day, and you're like, yeah, you know what happened in school? You're just ready to, give everyone a chance to, give everyone a chance. And whenever it's your time to talk, but if you always want to be there, always want to be, you could literally play a song like this, the whole song from start to finish. I do, and people would, someone who's never heard me play, they would go to the gig and actually would think, that drummer's not that good. Because everyone is like, especially young drummers, they're expecting you to go, and like, okay, he's gonna do it. And then you're not doing it. What's going on? This guy. But it's more, again, whatever you're doing here, it's in service to the music. We're a team, It's like, no one likes to show off, It's like when you're playing soccer, this guy doesn't want to pass the ball to anyone. He just wants to run. Every time he gets the ball, he doesn't want to pass it. Then what's the point, So on stage, you're a team. You listen to what the keyboard player is doing. You listen to what the lead vocal is doing, so that you're able to know, okay, now we actually have to build up the song. Now this is where we're going. Not the song is still starting and you're already. There's a clip that is circulating online. I don't know if the church called a metal drama or what it was doing. So now they're doing this song, Oceans. The lead vocal is still on the first part, and then she's not even finished with the first line, the drama is going. Even the keyboard player, what? Everyone now is just watching the drama, and he's not even communicating with anyone on stage. He's just going. And it's why? Because you have to also remember, you're a church drummer. This is not just playing drums. This is worship, This is your craft of worship. This is how you give glory to God, right? So, there's no need for you to show off. This is not a platform for anyone to show off, I mean, unless you are playing a song and they say, even from rehearsal, they say, on this song, you are going to get a drum solo. Then it makes sense. Then you're like, okay, let me show them, But apart from that, you must always think, this is praise and worship, this is their thing. You are also, this is your form of worship, right? So worship must be a sweet aroma to God. It shouldn't be like a noise. That's why even the Bible speaks of if you can speak in different tongues, but if you don't have love, you're like a loud cymbal, So it's just noise. God is going like, okay, yeah, So you're worshiping God, right? If your heart posture is in the right place, then you're definitely going to be doing the right things here. But if you're here to show off, people must know I have a new drum teacher, I've been practicing, then it's not going to go very far, So it's not only in playing, it's also about the type of person you are, And if, again, different people, different personalities, right? Of course, each and every one of us honestly has that part in them where that egotistical part where you're like, okay, but I've been practicing. Maybe let me just show them a little bit. Let me just, they must, I want the church to see that I've actually been, but no, no, right? So all in good time, there's a time and place for everything, right? Even in music, So I wanted to ask I think the pastor said there's like 3 drummers who are already playing at church. Okay. Who's been playing? You guys have been playing, yeah. I wanted to, so I was watching the YouTube live, right? Yeah. No, I'm not gonna judge. So I wanted to get an idea and the feel of also the type of songs you guys are doing here, so that I can be better suited to help you guys grow, right? So I just want to know what part are you struggling with? Don't be shy. Huh? You want to come demonstrate? Just one beat? Anyone, because both of you are going to play, so whichever one wants to start.
Yeah, I love one space concept. So basic one that we were taught was just your normal,
Okay.
and then your double,
Yeah.
and then you can open it as you go
Okay.
along.
Okay, go play the fields and everything.
Woo! Yeah,
So, remember what I was showing you guys right now, how you hold your sticks. The grip on your sticks. Yes. Hold it a bit tighter. And another thing, when you're playing the snare, it has to be precise, because now you're going, don't. So a stroke is so how you approach the groove matters, the precision, where you're hitting on your snare, because even on the toms and everywhere, even on the cymbals, you get a different tone when you're hitting the snow here. Right? So you just, when you're practicing, you also listen to that, which nice tone am I getting when I'm here or when I'm here? Like, okay, this makes more sense. Then that's where you stay. And not, so again, it's the grip on your sticks, because you are more like loose, so just tighten your grip on your sticks when you're playing that groove, and let's try again. Yes. And then, yes. Now it's sounding much better. Okay, and then one more thing. I think most of you guys, okay, when everyone starts, they struggle with this. On the bass drum, there's a certain technique you on your foot, on the bass drum. So if you're gonna play it like this, as time goes on, especially when you're playing faster beats, it's gonna hurt your ankle, right, when you're playing. So it's more. So what I normally do, even to get a nice sound and speed, I normally play at the ball of my foot and this part here. So that's that's how you get it. But the more you're gonna play like this also, so that's how you go. So there's different techniques. There's what some people call the heel toe technique. So that one you basically pushing, sliding your, let me show you. So the heel toe technique, it's more heel toe, right? So, or just this. So,
So when you kick, you actually lift your heel off the
yes.
and not
And,
like
and not just
on it.
balance, yes. Because when you do that, you're definitely gonna have injuries in here. And you, especially when you're playing faster songs, you'll always be tired before even then the tempo will be. So it's not that you're not hearing that the tempo is going down. You are, but you're struggling to actually keep up because, you know. So it's more. So, and then on the same pitch you're playing, it's different. If you're gonna go, right? See that feel you were playing? So you were just rushing to hit the crash cymbal, you know? You were just rushing to hit the crash cymbal. Just, you know? And again, you have to think, we're doing the 16th notes, right? So especially on this beat, that's the feel you use, the 16th notes. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and up, then you crash. So sometimes you don't even have to play that whole big feel. You can just go 1E and a crash. So you see, now you understand now the tone, what matters. Remember, if you heard the difference when you were playing the snare like this, and when I actually told you to turn your hand like this, the snare was sounding a bit better and more audible, you know. Because another thing I was thinking, when I was listening to the live, you couldn't hear, when you guys are playing, you can't really hear the drums, especially the snare. Mostly hear like the cymbals when you're listening to that live on YouTube. You're mostly hearing the right cymbal, but the snare, it's more, the snare and the toms, even the kick, because you're playing it like this, then you're not getting, it's not audible enough. So even if they put a mic on the bass drum, it's not, but when you, so now now there's more punch into it. It sounds, when someone is listening to you play, like, okay, you're basically demanding their attention without telling them. All you just need to do is, when you start playing, people want to hear, want to listen to you, you know, as opposed to when you're just playing, they're like, okay, yeah, we can hear there's drums somewhere, you know, but when you actually, again, remember the example I made about a conversation. So when you're playing here, you're making conversation with everyone. But now if you're gonna, it's like you wanna talk, but we can't really make out what you're saying, and we're just trying to listen, and okay. So it's not really, you are playing the right groove, but now the technique, right? So there's nothing wrong with the groove you're playing. From when you're playing the single kick and the double kick, the pattern is correct, but now, the dynamics now. Because sometimes when the song starts, you can hear the cymbals and everything, and when everyone starts playing and they're singing, then it's like the drums, yes, it's like they're just drowning in the music there, you know. So, again, those single strokes, just work on them on the pad again and again, so that when you play them here, they can be precise, you know. Yeah. So it's not just Because sometimes when you play a fill, you do get that. I just want to hit the crash before I mess it up, you know. And then, you know, and then we can't really hear what you. So even when you're playing something very fast, I'm gonna play something very fast, and you're gonna hear. I want you to, you must be even when you're playing fast, someone must be able to make out what you're playing, right? So even when I'm playing, you can actually still hear, okay, you played a flam somewhere. Maybe because it was a bit fast, you couldn't hear everything, but you can tell, okay, he played something like this on the tom. He played something like this on the floor tom, you know. But if you're just gonna rush, and it's, yes, well, you achieved your goal. You went to the crash, but now at what cost? You know, at what cost? After you do that, we're like, yeah, okay. Okay, let's move on, you know. So, see, and this is the most easiest pattern because you're just playing single strokes. That's it. So, even if on your practice time you can do this. And you notice what I was doing with the kick when I was playing. So I'm keeping the quarter notes on the kick. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Because sometimes you play the groove and when you get to the fill, you're not even playing the kick. It's just. So when someone is listening, even if they're not a musician, they can't really tell what's missing, but there is something missing. It's like, okay, we're not really sure what's missing, but it's like that your mom's favorite meal, and then she doesn't put that nice spice she uses, and you're like, okay, it's still tasty, but I don't know, there's something missing somewhere, you know. And yeah, it's nice. Well, we can still work with it, but it's missing something, you know. And as a drummer, you want people to enjoy what you're doing, you know. So, yeah. Any questions you have based on all of that?
I need to work on it. That's what I need to do.
Yeah.
I need to work on it.
So next week we'll have, I think, 2 drum kits here, and we'll be demonstrating more now on. So we'll basically be playing the same thing together. So it'll make it easy. You can come. You can come up. Maybe play a different groove.
So can I play a slow song?
You can play slow.
Slow one.
Yeah.
Yeah? Slow. Okay. You said my foot shouldn't be flat.
So it's more on the heel, yes.
On the heel. So what I do is
It's okay. Relax. It's okay. So, you see what I was telling her about the precision, knowing where you're hitting the snare drum, right? Even when you're playing the cross stick, you are playing. You must find a space where that cross stick sounds nice. So if you are playing it here, it's not even audible enough, you know. But now keep on pushing this. Hear the difference? So when you're playing it. Now you can actually hear it, you know, as opposed to, you can even hear, even the sound, it sounds different. Again, also where your hand is resting. So when your hand is resting at the back, remember this, the difference in the tone. So when your hand is resting at the center of, it gives you a more nicer tone as opposed to, yeah, so. And as I said earlier, what I noticed you were doing here, as I said earlier, everyone has a dominant hand and a weaker hand. If you're left-handed, then your right hand is your weaker hand, right? So if you're right-handed, then the left hand is weaker. By default, you'll want to use your dominant hand more. So, but now it'll slow you down when you're playing your fills, because now you're going, and just, you know, but if you were going, then it's better, it makes more sense. Then you're not gonna mess it up, because now you're rushing to come back to the beat. So you're going, you know. So sometimes you'll come back on time, sometimes you won't, and now everything falls apart, you know. But if you go, or you go to this crash. And practicing this sometimes, again, some people will like, why are you actually working on that? But you can play that beat. No, you can't, you know, until you actually, you know. So you think you can play it because you've been playing it. And again, muscle memory. You think you're doing it right, but so then there's things you have to unlearn. And then there's nothing wrong with sitting here for like 10 minutes and just doing this. For 10 minutes straight. Use a metronome. So again, as I was saying, the metronome should be your best friend. Even if you're playing something you know you've been playing for years, you know. So because you were just playing, that's why sometimes you listen to, okay, the song is nice, but then the tempo keeps going fast, or it goes slow and it goes fast. So now we're struggling to dance. We're like, we're there, and we're like, okay, the tempo is going, you know. So, and it's not that you can't play the beat, you've been playing it for years. But if you use the metronome, put your headphones, use a metronome, practice the same thing you've been doing. Listen to everything, how the kick sounds when you're playing it, how your hi-hat sounds. There's a different tone when you're playing it at the tip of your hi-hat and when you're actually playing it. And again, there's nothing wrong with playing it here or here. It's just different techniques depending on what you're playing. There's songs where or you go, so you're using both, you know. So even on the same thing, you know, or you're still playing the same groove, you know, but now it's giving it a different feel altogether, right? So it's just now being able to hear those differences basically when you play. Okay, when the cross stick is like this, or when it's there, or when I'm playing, so you have to now start paying attention. When I'm playing, what am I doing? What am I struggling? Why am I struggling to hit? Why do I keep on hitting the rims when I'm playing, you know? Everything plays a role, even how your drums are set up. For instance, the toms are set up too apart from each other, you know? So therefore, there's certain fills you won't be able to play nicely. You're gonna go, because when you have to reach the second tom, then you're here, you know? So sometimes you can actually set up the toms closer to each other, then it's easier when you. So when you're playing, whatever mistake you make, sometimes it's what you're doing, or sometimes maybe it's how the drums are set up. Some people prefer to set up the snare a little bit facing to them. Some people would set up the snare facing the other way, actually. Yes, maybe when you're playing jazz, like this one, the snare is straight. So when it's bending slightly to the other side, it's easy for me to go. And now the toms, whether they're facing you like this or they straight, is your floor tom at the same level as the snare? All of that matters because it affects how you play. When you're playing, you feel, how are you going to reach the floor tom, you know? So, again, are you comfortable with this setup? Are you comfortable with that setup? You know, there's a lot of, for instance, I wouldn't be setting it up like this. I normally put my hi-hats high. It wouldn't be your preference. Maybe when the hats are too high, you're playing like this and you're not comfortable with it, you know? So someone would come here and put the snare very low, because when it's like this, they can't play the rim shot, you know, yeah. So it's, when you're practicing, you look at all of that. Okay, I'm actually struggling because of the setup, not that I can't play this. Maybe let me just change this a little bit. I mean, you're the one who's playing maybe that particular Sunday, so you can set the drums whichever way to your preference, you know. So yeah, and then again, you were also making that same mistake she was making, because the way you were holding your stick, so your snare is, it's not, you know, so, or, so play the same beat as you're playing, but now that you know,
Okay.
you know. Yes. So your whole hand is resting on the.
On the 11.
Yes. Now it sounds better than you were doing it before. Now add a fill. Yes. So again, you must remember, you're counting. So that fill, you just threw it there. You just threw it there. Yeah. So you still have to be counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I started playing, I would make sure I count everything. How many times am I counting when I'm playing the fill?
Okay.
Am I gonna just play it on the 3 and 4, or am I gonna play it on the full bar? You know. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So it must be the full thing.
Yes, it must be the whole full thing. When you're playing it on the whole bar, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know.
Okay.
So you have to still be counting in your head, you know.
As well.
Yes, not just the groove, because you're most probably counting when you're playing the groove, and your groove sounds nice until you get to the feel and you're like, okay. And that's why then, that's the mistake you make, because now you're rushing to finish the fill, because I'm struggling with this. So I just need to get it done, get it over with, and then move on, you know. And then you'll never learn. You must actually be excited, you know, okay? Sometimes when I'm working on stuff and then I find a weakness, I kind of get excited to work on that weakness for me to get better, instead of just shying away from it. Let me stick on what I'm good at, you know, and then you'll never grow.
Yes.
And again, being good at one thing is not going to make you suck at the other. What I mean by that is, now that you're actually okay with this, with the groove, working on the fills is not going to make you suck at the grooves, because you already know how to play your groove. So you can actually give yourself time and just work on how you approach your grooves, how the cymbal is placed up. Am I okay with hitting it like this? Or maybe do I want to hit it like this? Therefore, maybe the cymbal should be set up straight, more straight than, you know. So just work on that. Am I comfortable with the sit at this height? Or some people prefer the drums low and you're playing like this. Some prefer to be low and the drums are high. Your preference, are you comfortable with that? So there's no right or wrong way to set up your drums. Well, unless you're going to be playing like this, then yeah. You're not going to rest, you're going to be killing your back. But yeah, whatever you're comfortable with. Some people struggle not because you can't play. Sometimes you get to a place and you're scared to rearrange the drums and you want to play it like that. And you find that you're not really giving your best, because you're also not, you're not comfortable, yes. So, but other than that, yeah, I hope that helps. Just those minor things. Move your stick. Find the right tone. Even on the cymbal, when I'm playing here, or when I'm playing, there's a different tone I'm getting. So depending on whichever part of the music I'm playing, you know. For instance, as I was playing that jazz groove, there's a different tone at the cymbal when I'm playing it here. Or so you find the right space. Yes, that sounds right. Because now you know how it sounds here, how it sounds here. And you're already thinking, on that song we do on Sunday, I know it would definitely sound good if I play it here at the lower end. Or maybe closer to the bell, you know. Or maybe just this song just needs just the bell. You're like, okay, maybe that doesn't sound nice. Maybe, like, okay, now that sounds better, you know. So you practice those things. It's not just playing. Now that I know the beat, let's move on. You work on that beat, how you make it sound better, how you make it sound full, you know. So as that beat, that first, right? There's nothing wrong with this, but it could sound better, you know. Maybe you open your hi-hat a little bit. Okay, sounds better. It could sound better. Maybe more notes on the hi-hat. Maybe. You know. So, and then you play like, okay, now that sounds better. But I can't play it like this the whole song. There's a certain section of the song that it's just more quiet, so you can just do single strokes. And then now the song builds up. It already tells the person who's listening, okay, now the song is changing. The dynamics of the song are changing now, you know. So you sit and you practice that. So how do I switch from the single strokes now from the quarter notes to the eighth notes? When opening the hi-hat, where do I open the hi-hat? Not just everywhere, you know. Where am I opening the hi-hat? Does it make sense for me to open the hi-hat throughout, you know? And then you sometimes you even record yourself and you play. I still do that even today when I'm practicing some of different concepts. I record myself, either maybe video and audio, and then I go back and listen. Oh, okay, I can actually play it better here. I can actually fix it here. Okay, that sounded nice. Maybe I should do more of that, you know, so that you grow, you know. At the church I used to play for in Lenasia, some of the worship team sometimes used to like, hey, let's not ask Siya today. Let's not ask, because sometimes they would ask me, how did it sound maybe on the Tuesday? So we would play and we'd play. After the service, I go back home, I listen to the live stream, like, okay, and then I go back to the team, guys, okay, this is where we're struggling, you know, the bass player, maybe we can do better if you and the drums are locking it on this part. The lead guitar don't just play everywhere, and they would sometimes feel like I'm pointing out mistakes a lot, and but going back to listen, and actually it helps you grow, you know, it helps you grow as an individual, and as you grow, you become a better asset to the team or to the worship team, you know. So, yeah, okay. I hope that helps.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Any more questions? I don't know how much time we have left. What's the time? Okay. Maybe just one more thing before. Any question? Okay, I was just asking both of them because they're already playing here at the church. But if you guys have any questions based on what we were doing, if you want to come, if whatever question you want to ask is maybe based on what you think you're learning how to play, don't be shy. Any question? Nothing? You okay, Leroy? You sure? You're good? So then this week will be, I'll try and make copies of that notation sheet for you so that, I think next week then I'll be showing you also how to be able to read that so that you understand. I'll notate exactly what we were working on today so that you know, oh, this is how the single stroke looks on paper. When you're practicing it, how it looks the quarter notes or the 16th notes or the 8th note so that you're able to see the difference.
So I have a question. Between the practice pad and the metronome, which one is the one that you must obviously concentrate more on flowing with?
So you must always listen to the metronome because it drives whatever it is you're playing. Because if you're not listening to it, you could be playing your own thing and the metronome is... That's what I was saying, that when you're actually playing at church and the tempo just keeps going up, down, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, because you're not really... So metronome is the tempo, it's about the tempo, you know. So, and it's because it... Sorry. So you're basically focusing on the rhythm, how the tempo is going. 1, 2, 3. Some metronome apps even have the subdivisions. You can actually subdivide it to now the 8th notes. Now your metronome is going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So then you're actually playing on top of it with it. That way it helps you. The more you work on the metronome, even when you get to church, you're not playing with the metronome. It's easy. You're not going to be able to. You're not going to be losing time or playing faster or playing slower. The worship song, and people feel like now we're dancing, but it's a worship. It's supposed to be a slow song, you know. So it's work on your metronome. And yeah, so music is rhythm, you know, and there's rhythm in everything, you know. So as I was talking about the dynamics, you know, the rate of speed, your 16th notes, your quarter notes, you must also not just to know how to play them, but know where they apply on the drum kit, you know. For instance, I think even the whole world kind of revolves around rhythm. I mean, how do you know that a person's heartbeat is okay, you know, when they check the pulse? Sometimes they don't even need to take you to the hospital to check your pulse. Like, okay, something's wrong with you. Your heart is not really beating at the correct rate, you know. So there's rhythm in everything, you know. There's patterns in everything when you're walking, you know. So sometimes you get to hear, to see patterns in everything. Maybe it's raining, the raindrops. You can actually hear how, you know, how it's going. Like for instance, Greg wants to cross the street and there's a car coming. You can't just say, Greg, there's a car coming. By then, it's done, you know. And you can't just say, watch out, Greg, there's a car coming, you know. So, watch out, there's a car coming. Then he knows, okay, I need to jump back, you know. What are you going to say? Watch out, there's a car coming. You know? So it's the same thing when you're playing here. Like you have to be intentional, you know. You have to be intentional with what you're playing, how you're playing it. Or maybe say you're proposing to him, hi, can you, will you marry me? Yeah, will you marry me? Will you be my wife? I was like, okay, you know. But now the approach, so even when you're speaking, you know, there's rhythm in everything. There's rhythm in everything. And that's the same way you apply the same thing here, you know. You apply the same thing here. You can't just say, don't, you know, like, okay, it's like now you're playing two different things, you know. So everything must make sense, you know. Everything must make sense, and for people to actually want to listen to you, you know. If I came here, hi, my name is Siya. So today we're going to do this lesson, and you're like, okay, he's been talking for 5 minutes and we can't hear a single thing he's saying, you know. So it's communication, you know. Again, as I was saying, conversation. You're having conversation on stage, you know. How the backing vocalists are singing, whatever they are singing, with regards to whatever the lead singer is doing, or with whatever the pianist is doing, it's still the same. It's all interconnected, you know. So we can't be listening to, it sounds nice, and you've been playing one beat very slow, and you're like, okay, no, the tempo's going to pick up. And you're just there. And the church wants to dance, and you're just there. You're like, no, I'll just be here. I'm not going anywhere. No rush. no rush, So you find rhythm in different things and how it relates to music, People normally joke about drummers that most of the time when you listen to something, you always think, can I drum on that? And I drum. Well, every time you listen to something, okay, I can actually play a groove on top of that. You could be just maybe walking down the street and you see kids playing and they're just singing a song and you're thinking, okay, can I drum on that? I can actually do something on that, So there's rhythm in everything. And and then we'll get to work on now your hand independence. So in drumming, there's hand independence and there's overall independence. So with hand independence, there's what we call polyrhythms. We did flames here. Flames are closer to polyrhythms because it's like you're playing two things that are not really connected. For instance, let's use a triplet, right? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna play three groups of 3 on the right hand and the left hand, but different subdivisions. So So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So I'm playing, it's still triplets, but now that's 2 different subdivisions, but they're still communicating with each other, and they're making a nice groove. You can actually play a groove there. You can use it as a groove, maybe play 1 accent on the 1. Right? You can move the accent maybe to the 2. So now that's more your hand independence now. So the right hand is doing its own thing. So again, you'll get to work on this as time goes on, because if you don't work on them, there's certain beats you won't be able to play. You'll be struggling. I mean, when you were starting, you were struggling with just playing this. Because your independence, your mind is saying, I can't be doing all of this at the same time, the right foot with the, but as time goes on, you get it. There was a point where you couldn't play drums at all, So that's how I always look at when I'm faced with a challenge, whether musically or maybe we're trying to compose a new song or whatnot. There was a time when I couldn't play this, There was a time where I used to look at the piano and it was foreign to me. I'm like, okay, I'll just stick on the drums, And then as time goes on, you learn. You learn, you grow, So, yeah, never look at it, because I know sometimes you listen and part of the lesson and you're actually listening and you're like, I don't understand a thing, But there was a point where you didn't know what you know now. So don't, because I know after this lesson, some of you are going to go home and like, okay, maybe this is not for me. Maybe this is, but it takes time and dedication. So yeah, I think we're done for the day. If you have any questions, just let me know. But if not, okay. Do I? Sometimes. It depends on what I'm playing. So it goes back to repetition. I've played this I've practiced this for a very long time, and I've been playing it slow, counting, to the point now, muscle memory. My muscles have memorized I no longer have to think 1, 2, 3, even if I'm playing fast. Before, I used to go playing it at that tempo, I used to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, counting in my head because I don't want to mess up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. But as time goes on, when you play the groove, the more you do it, the more you memorize it, then you no longer have to count, because it's internal now. So working with a metronome builds your internal clock, because then your tempo, you see now most of the things, I no longer have to play the metronome to make sure to keep me on time. But again, every time when I'm practicing, I use a metronome every day. You know, so that it builds your internal clock. Whatever it is you're playing, wherever you're playing it, it's always on time. And once you actually understand that, it's easy for you to work on playing over the pulse. There's certain patterns where you have to, the metronome is here, and you have to play. See, it's contrary to what I'm playing here. But because now I've memorized this, I've been doing so. It's just how much work you put in. And again, use the metronome. Even if it's going to sound boring when you're playing it, maybe at 30 BPM. Because maybe on 30 BPM, you're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. But this is as important as, you know. So take it easy. Just take it easy and give it time. Yeah. Any more questions? We're good? Okay. So then, let me say maybe start at 50 BPM on single strokes, double strokes, flams, and your triplets. So don't forget your triplets. We're playing it 2 different ways, right? We're playing them alternating right, left, right, left, right, left, right. The other way, it's right, left, left. Right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. So just practice that alternating. So your single strokes, your double strokes, your flams, and your triplets. I know flams, again, I think put more time in on the flams because they're more challenging than the rest of the rudiments. And then, yeah, I'll see you next week then. All right. I don't know if it's possible, maybe I can make a group chat with you guys so that whatever you're struggling with in the week, you can just send it on the group, a short clip or whatever you're working on. Then I can maybe help out. Can we? All right. All right, thank you so much. Yeah.